This is the second event in the Nocturnal City series in London, and we're exploring an interplay between London and Barcelona.
The most important bit about the London scene for me is diversity and like maintaining diversity inside the parties.
Yeah, we're both club kids. What London needs to do for things and clubs to be more inclusive. I think things like this, things cross over.
Yeah, the relationship between art and music, like you can't take them apart.
Maybe in 20 years we will see people in the club using augmented reality just to expand their vision of music.
It is said that VR is the door that goes before augmented reality. If creators and people that work around creativity are able to create experiences that plays or that attracts people that love the club scene, can be the first chapter of something new, and the second chapter can be augmented reality applied to real clubs.
I like to say in England we're kind of like, we're on a 100-metre sprint, but out to just like have as much fun as possible, but then you're kind of in bed pretty early. It's like in Spain, clubs don't really even open till 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm Sonny Graves, come from Barcelona. First time playing in the UK ever. You know, electronic music has always been very, very closely linked to a party vibe, but it's really difficult for like other genres, sort of visions of electronic music, to find a space that sounds good, a space where, you know, no one's going to tell you like halfway into your set, like, hey, can you play something a bit more dancey or whatever.
What is the balance between kind of commercialism, the underground access, and particular with ticket pricing?
I don't really understand how you could think that you're part of the underground if the cost of getting in of an event is £30.
We're both part of SIREN, which is a collective that promotes women and non-binary people in dance music. So we're all volunteers and we sort of chip in time as and when we can.
We're completely DIY, self-funded. Wherever we can, we'll do something ourselves. We get money from DJ gigs and all of that money goes back into the project.
Right, so I'm Joe, we're here at Rye Wax, where I work. Yeah, I'm here representing Cotch International, which is a label and a club night based out of here, which I co-founded with a good friend. I mean, Rye Wax, we're in a residential area here, so you know we're inside in the middle of a community, and we're lucky that that community has some amazing music coming out of it. So really, our role is just to be a conduit for that and be a place where, where producers and artists can come and just kind of like experiment and, you know, put their music forward and like champion for our local scene. Basically, that's really what we're about.
I think at the beginning, given the kind of circumstances that SIREN came out of, there was a climate around the time of people thinking, well, there aren't any women and non-binary DJs, those that aren't very good, and they've got to where they are through using their sexuality, and so what we wanted to do was just put on a night where we were like, look, it's only women and non-binary people DJing, and it's sick.
From every level, there's no reason that this has to be male-dominated.
We want to resist and we want to dance.
We raise money for grassroots campaigns and organisations. We throw banging parties. It's about keeping women, people who identify as women, safe, because ultimately in these commercial clubs, like, we're not safe.
People of colour, women of colour are like leading the nights, doing the tech, having an all-female lineup is really important for us.
I mean, I got into dubstep. One of the best things about that genre in its early stages was the community. You could just rock up to the club by yourself. So you never felt kind of like you were on your own. You were there with like-minded people. And I think that's important now more than ever.
We love working with our community.
Safe partying is possible, that radical organising within the music industry is possible.
We've come into contact with so many other crews in London who we didn't know about before, operating on a very small scale, making their own spaces based around their own identities or their own music taste, creating spaces that they want to party in. Like, a lot of it is very small scale, very underground.
You know, obviously there are big festivals like Sonar, world-renowned, one of the biggest electronic festivals, and it happens in Barcelona. Like, the world focuses on Barcelona for 3 days of the year, and the rest of the time it's sort of like, okay, it's sort of like left to its own devices. The most interesting things happening are on a much more sort of intimate level, no? It's definitely like spaces, you know, how open they are to sort of, you know, receive new ideas and new inputs.
We really need to see maybe council stepping in and saying these are important spaces to our various communities who see their spaces being swallowed up.
A studio resident at Somerset House Studios. I'm presenting a work for Nocturnal City. The work explores the limitations when trying to simulate biointelligence via artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence or machine intelligence is intelligent behavior by machines.
The VR and the real experience, the real clubbing experience, I don't see any parallel between the two because it's a very solitary practice versus such a visceral experience of like collective enjoyment and ecstatic moment of giving energy, feedback energy, you know, among bodies.
I don't feel that the perfect scenario isn't a scenario where the audience can choose the perfect club. I think that the perfect scenario is where the creator chooses a story or an experience that he wants to tell.
Through events like this, we can continue to support subcultures, underground activities, people with new ideas, and by bringing them to the right places where they can speak to the right people, I'm hoping these projects can have more support.
I mean, it does matter that clubs close down, but it really doesn't because we could always find a basement to put a sound system in. We could always have a party. We could always DJ.
That music, you know, just out of necessity will always have a place to exist.